Welcome to Currency Call with me, Manisha Gupta. Well, most Asian currencies rallied today after finance ministers from the group of 20 nations vote to avoid competitive devaluation. The pressure is back on the dollar and investors are eyeing a possible second round of quantitative easing by the US Fed in the month of November. The dollar index is down nearly 0.8%, while the rupee is marking gains against the greenback on the back of a robust domestic stock market today. Well, right now the rupee is trading at around 44.37. We have seen 0.5% of a gain upcoming for that one. The Japanese yen is once again at a 15-year high against the US dollar, and the Taiwanese dollar has jumped the most since 2009, while the Malaysian ringgit has marked its biggest gains in last 6 weeks. The euro is also on the rise and has climbed above 1.4050. Well, that was an important resistance, and now many people are making a target at 1.4150. But further gains, of course, are likely to be checked by some large option barriers, as the reports have been talking about. Let's get in the expert then, and Pramit Brahmbhatt, CEO Alpari Forex, now joins us in our Ahmedabad studios. Pramit, hi, welcome to the show. Let's start with the Indian rupee first, where we have seen some strengthening come back into the markets. Of course, the dollar has started to decline. What kind of a range do you have?
Well, rupee is appreciating due to the news of G20's concern over the devaluation of dollar, and that is giving the strength to all the Asian currency, including rupee. 44.20 and 44 level is a very significant level. Even in the last few weeks, we have seen that rupee was not able to reach that level and it bounced back from that level. So we need to look at 44 level for rupee.
Pramit, how about the international currencies? Talking about most of those Asian currencies, actually, we have seen Malaysia, Taiwanese dollar, all of them also jump up quite strong in the markets today. Is this a knee-jerk reaction because of dollar decline, or do you see this rally continue?
Well, I would say it's knee-jerk reaction to the G20 because I'm still skeptical that what Fed will do in the month of November, because we have seen in the past that China has basically avoided all the G20 recommendation and gone ahead and continue weaker yuan. So we are not sure whether Fed will follow the G20's recommendation. So we need to see when the Fed takes the decision. But this is a very much of a knee-jerk reaction rather than the actual valuation. And I would see that the existing rally will not carry on for next week or so.
Pramit, how about the Japanese yen, because that's up nearly 1% on the screens at this point in time, 80.45 kind of a high it has touched in the intraday markets today. Do you see any intervention concerns coming into the market, or the statements from G20 is the reason that many people have gone bullish on that currency?
Well, I would say that rather than any intervention, G20 is the cause of concern at the moment, and the worst affected currency is yen due to its inverse relation with the dollar. And I would see that there won't be any intervention in the near future by Bank of Japan, because at last time when they did the intervention, yen got even further stronger, and we are looking at this level. So they will let the knee-jerk reaction to ease out, and then they can review the situation after a week or so, rather than doing any intervention right now.
Sure. So in that scenario, what kind of levels are you expecting on the Japanese yen in days ahead?
Well, 80 to 81 is a range-bound dollar yen range which I am looking at. 80.15 is the key level for dollar yen to breach, and then we have to look at further from that. But 80 to 81 is the range we are looking for the dollar yen.
How about the euro, because that also broke us important resistance of 1.4050 as reporters and the chartists have been talking about. Do you see euro going above 1.41 now?
Well, the first level is 1.408, and the second level will be 1.4413 to breach, and then we can see whether it is going to go above 1.415. So after these two levels, we will be able to judge whether the rally is coming due to the eurozone, or it's just a knee-jerk reaction due to the G20. What we have seen today is around 70 to 80 pips movement in the market. For the euro dollar, 150 pips, 200 pips movement is not difficult. So in that case, after the American market opens, we need to really look at the situation again and see whether the rally is going to continue, or there will be some correction after the opening of American markets.
Pramit, one thing as you mentioned the markets now would be watching out for is the Fed meeting in the coming week and also of course the quantitative easing in the month of November. What are your expectations from both these things? And for let's say if we want to take a target for coming 1 month, how would you want to trade most of these currencies now?
Well, I would say that the euro dollar will be range bound between 1.37 to 1.41 level. The easing out of the Fed will be kind of a mixed bag to give a reassurance to the economy that we are looking into the critical areas and we are going to keep our eyes on that. But I do not see that there is any big movement will come from the Fed in the month of November in terms of the easing out of the economic condition. In terms of the range for dollar yen, we will say it can breach 80 level and we can see it range between 79.5 to 81.5 kind of a broad range. With the dollar, we have seen that 44 is a level which rupee is not able to break. So again, dollar rupee is going to be range bound between 44 to 44.70 levels.
Pramit, one final one. So are you expecting Fed to change its tone when it talks in the coming week? Because there is this 30 to 40% of a chance that they might go from 0.25 to actually 0. Do you see that happening?
If I have to say in yes or no, I would say no. The tone can be different, but the attitude will be the same because they would like to achieve what they have decided earlier. Maybe they can change the tone after keeping the G20 in mind.
All right, Pramit, let you go at that. Thank you so much for coming out and giving all those strategies. No zero happening in sense of Fed is what Pramit is telling us, but range-bound trends happening for euro. Rupee, of course, could appreciate a bit, but 44 continues to be a strong resistance for that one. With that, it's wrap on this segment of Currency Call. Thank you so much for watching. Business Day coming up next.